What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Dan,
And I'm Chris.
and we're doing a live review. We're calling our summer jam for the movies. We're catching up. For a lot of
Yeah,
movies.
we've been around doing this for some time, and but we're catching up.
Yeah,
We're kind of rekindling.
I'm on board reviewing books, so we're gonna go back to reviewing movies. Would you like to
I have
give?
to say, Dan, what's your overall impression so far in the movies you've seen so far for the year?
They're pretty good. There's some good ones. There's some bad ones. You know.
Same here. Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad shit, but there's some good ones I saw.
Well, let's go to the first one you and I both saw. We saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and I know we should review this earlier.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 1 kicked ass.
Volume 1 kicked ass, and
Volume 2 really kicked ass.
And spoilers. Yeah, we're gonna do the spoilers.
Yeah, it's spoiler, man. Come on, these films have been out. Maybe you guys have seen this.
Well, they'll say, well, it didn't come out to Blu-ray and DVD yet. Well, that's not our fault.
Some spoilers. I don't know, because I want to. Some people haven't seen it or shit. Let there be some mystery.
This. I'll put a link when this thing goes live. I'll put a link in the description down below for you to skip ahead to avoid spoilers.
Yep, he'll do that just for you.
Yeah. So first, let's talk about the movie. So the movie again deals with Star-Lord and crew, and fighting. They start out fighting a monster, a giant tentacle monster.
Yeah, man, but what's your overall how did the film go?
I liked it. It was good. It felt really good, especially
there was some key points here.
Well, the
acting, how was
it? Well, as Chris Pratt and all this guy.
Of course. Did it kind of give you what you wanted from the first one? What made the first one really good? Did it kind of continue that party?
Yeah, I did. We finally got to see. The thing I really liked about it was we finally got to meet Star-Lord's dad, who
was Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, yeah.
It was really awesome to see Kurt Russell. I will say that was a little bit off of casting because he was a bad guy. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, in fact, actually,
I didn't like that. Kurt Russell can't really be a bad guy in my book. Certainly, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of mixing and reviving that nostalgia from the past with Star-Lord's, his classic 70s soft rock that brings him to life.
The other big thing they changed is in the books, his dad is not the books. Sorry, the comics. His dad is not Ego. It's in fact like the leader of an empire. Who in the cartoon was basically voiced by Jonathan Frakes, or you might know as Commander Riker.
Right.
So Riker was his dad in the comic book.
Riker was his dad in the comic books. But there was a cool new character we were introduced to, Mantis.
She's hot.
Hot Asian chick played.
She's a French. She's also French.
Or ugly bug lady, according to Drax.
Yeah, she's a French Asian.
I really thought Drax really likes the show up.
Yeah,
Dave Bautista, who he used to be a wrestler. If you don't know.
Yeah. You know what's fun is actually I've been looking into some of the comic stuff, and they've done a few counterpoints to apparently in the comics, what's his face? Drax was just always cracking jokes. So they wanted to kind of make.
He's autistic.
Yeah, they made him autistic.
He is. He takes things literally.
He's like Onision,
yeah.
I got facts and I'm right. No, there's nothing all over my head. I'm too quick and I'll catch it.
Right. Aha! She just revealed your deepest and darkest secret.
To me. And she starts laughing their asses off.
Yeah, right.
Why are you? I just wanted to tell you that you're ugly to me.
She's like, oh my god, the thought of us being together just makes me sick. It's like I was trying to be nice to you by saying you're ugly. It's like at the end, you're beautiful. He's like, you're beautiful too on the inside. It's crazy, man.
And they killed off Merle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yondu. Yondu. Yeah, so Yondu, we find out that he was bringing kids to Ego, and it pissed.
He has a really awesome weapon, though.
Yeah,
that's right.
But apparently he pissed off Sylvester Stallone. Like, hey, you were bringing kids.
Sylvester Stallone in this movie.
He was putting the head of the Ravagers.
It's perhaps what Sylvester is in a very long time. It's Sylvester's best role.
Yeah.
It's his best role since Rocky.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as Stop or My Mother Will Shoot.
Yeah. The thing, the funny part is you could actually kind of understand stuff. So unlike when you're watching these kind of movies, like I just don't get it.
Right.
You know, it really had some solid action in it, and the twist was fun. They go, like, oh shit, he is the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is fun. The kind of relationship between Gamora and her sister was very interesting. So there's a lot of new characters I like. We got to see a lot of new characters. We got to see the old comedy that made the first one great, and basically the whole comic great. Really came back in the second one, and it did more. It was great. They continued the good stuff.
No, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. This was very much a standalone. I mean, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and from what I heard in terms of storyline, most of the videos take place in real time for us. They take place in our year. From what I heard is that this movie took place only a few months after this one. So this one is not. So Volume 3 will be closer in line with Infinity Wars. But so this one was. That's why they weren't out encountering Infinity Stones or anything. They're basically like, oh, we're going through stuff. Unlike Doctor Strange, where he's like, oh,
I haven't seen it yet. Damn it, I know.
It's on Netflix. It's on
No,
Netflix. God damn it, see it on Netflix.
When I have time, fuck. Okay, go on to it. Let's do a new movie. We left some mystery in Guardians.
How about
see the movie?
Yes. See, how about?
We're not gonna drone on the plot. It's stupid.
How about Wonder Woman?
That was really good. Did you see it?
Not yet. I'm gonna see. So give us a description.
You haven't seen it yet. Okay, just give us a description. Okay, well, it's Wonder Woman. She's
no duh.
You guys know she's an Amazonian, which is a mythical female Greek sexy warrior.
Who was played by an Israeli, which caused a lot of controversy in the Middle East.
Because an Israeli played Wonder Woman.
Yes, that happened.
A really hot Israeli woman.
Yes.
This caused controversy.
Although
this explains this explains a lot about the Middle East. One Israeli woman played a fictional superhero, and they lost it.
By the way, did you see the whole they're showing see what's the sword in her dress? From pointing out if she did, it would be going through her ass cheeks and cutting up her ass because the way that the dress is set up.
Right. No, I really thought they did really well with the movie. It wasn't stupid. It was more dramatic. There's a lot more serious. I think it's the same guy who did the Batman vs Superman movie.
Like Zack Snyder?
Is it? No, I don't know. I liked it. It was serious. There was more drama than kind of comedy that maybe you'd see more in the Marvel films. But they're kind of showing she's this. They're showing a fictional character, but they're showing a lot of emotion, a lot of vulnerability.
Right. She's also been a fish out of water in the story.
Right. She's coming into our dimension because she was found by
Chris Pine. Captain Kirk,
our new Captain Kirk. She was found by him, and
he was like, "You must come."
Island, and it's during World War I, and
which is nice because
and Chris Pratt is trying to.
No, not Chris Pratt.
No, it's not Chris Pratt.
Chris Pine. They both have Chris P.
Chris Pine.
How about we call him Captain Kirk for now?
We'll call it, Captain Kirk is fighting World War I, but the character's it's not raunchy. He wants to see this war ended because it was a really horrible war.
Yeah. Many people don't know World War I was a horror.
It was a horrible war. It was the first war they really rolled out tanks and artillery and just weapons of mass destruction.
It was the first real
nerve gas, and they just saw human life just ripped to shreds. Trench warfare, it was disgusting.
Yeah, not only that did we see trench warfare, we saw the first large use of chemical warfare and biological warfare.
The movie got into that.
In fact, what's it called? I think Hitler. There's stories
he was in World War I.
Yeah,
he got hit by mustard gas.
Yeah,
fucked his head up probably.
Yeah, because mustard gas will it. What does it do? I mean, besides
closes your lungs. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you basically feel like you're drowning.
It's a pretty nasty way to go.
Yeah. So tell us
so she's kind of joins these soldiers, led by Chris Pine, Captain Kirk, to end the war. And her goal, she, is Ares, the god of war, is behind the war.
That's kind of a cool thing.
And that's the kind of the big kind of thing in the story is Chris Pine explains that this big war is going on. She is convinced because Ares tried to destroy the Amazons in the story. I don't believe that's in Greek mythology, but
it's pretty common in the DC story that Ares wants to rule the Amazons. I believe that Diana Prince is actually like his daughter.
I don't know. They didn't explain.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be a daughter of. That's why she's able to fight and kick ass better than the rest. She's technically a demigod. I looked it up. Yeah. So we should talk about our.
Some bad. I was disappointed with Alien Covenant.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't.
Well, we'll have to watch it together.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
For time's sake. If you haven't seen Alien Covenant, you're not missing anything. You saw Alien 1, the original Alien, the good one.
Yes, the good
aliens popping out of, the
John Hurt.
John Hurt, right.
Who gets hurt in every movie he's in.
He was in 1984, and he was in
V for Vendetta.
As the bad guy.
He was the crazy guy in that horrible Indiana Jones movie we'll never talk about.
I actually saw the Crystal Skull one.
Yeah,
no, it was horrible. Anyways,
it's before Shia LaBeouf.
The big beef I had with Alien Covenant was I was hoping they'd kind of just build a thicker story talking about the engineers.
Yeah, of course.
Which we know from the first one, that big elephant-looking the alien when they come to the ship and they find this giant elephant-looking guy, and that's actually the suit. They're called engineers. They're an old alien race that has gone on. They created mankind. So essentially, in the first movie, Prometheus, the engineers created mankind by accident.
No, they did on purpose. They basically sacrificed themselves.
No, it was one guy. He killed himself on Earth. He took a formula, and he died, and his body came apart. And that was the building blocks for life on Earth. The engineers had looked at Earth for years, but for some reason 2,000 years ago, from the time of Prometheus, from the first one, they were going to destroy Earth with their poison formula.
I heard there were some theories, and this is just a theory I've heard, is that the Promethean, that Jesus was a Prometheus, it was
basically the whole, Ridley Scott is going down ancient aliens, right? But yeah, they destroyed. Okay, they had basically developed this material. It's called the black goo.
Yeah,
you'll see it in Prometheus. It basically just destroys DNA, but it shows that is the materials that eventually mutates and eventually is what is made up of the alien.
Yeah. So,
essentially, they were going to deploy it on Earth. So in the first Prometheus film, if you haven't seen it,
yeah,
they're going to deploy this black goo on Earth, but the black goo, they lost control of it, and it destroyed their military plants. So essentially, the engineers have different plants, it's like their military installation.
Right, kind of like in Halo, they have reach.
But 4 of them froze themselves before they were going to be devoured by it. So in the movie Prometheus, when Weyland Yutani, this old wacko guy,
played by Guy Pearce,
has a succession of finding the makers of mankind, God. So he sends a crew, the Prometheus, out there, and then they kind of open up these 4. And the first evolution of the alien, when the black goo goes into a human, and it's it goes on one of the engineers in the movie.
And the giant thing. Because the black
it kind of evolved. The black goo first infected one of the team members, because David, who's an android.
Yeah.
See, it's kind of funny. Ridley Scott's following the whole android lost his mind thing, like in the first Alien.
Yeah, but he also did that whole thing where he infected what's-her-face, the one chick, and it became the first kind of face on her.
She took it out of her because her boyfriend was infected. He had sex with her, and that turned into a organism.
Yeah.
And then she took it out of her, and then she was being chased by one of the engineers who had waken up, that they woke up on the Prometheus. And then she threw it on him, and then it laid their little thing
And
down,
they gave the first kind
and
of.
it became a deacon. You called it deacon.
Yeah.
That's the first evolution. But shows in this movie, David, the android you think went with Dr. Shaw in the first one,
Yeah.
he didn't die. He's been on a planet the whole time. He actually took one of the ships. If you saw the first one.
Yeah. Or
he took one of the ships and he leaves. He ends up killing Shaw, and he essentially goes to one of the engineer plants and infects them with the black shit. And he's created he created a neomorph. His first. He's been on the planet Borg basically, and he's no science, and he's been experimenting basically with genetic engineering, evolving his own alien.
And then he creates the xenomorph.
It doesn't make sense though. I have a huge problem with this entire plot. Number one, the entire plot's alien-wide.
I like
they come to a planet, but that doesn't make any sense because in the first Alien movie, the engineers have the alien eggs collected. You have to do some explaining there. And Ridley Scott is changing his mind. Originally, when asked about that scene from the first Alien, he said that the alien eggs that they discovered in the first one with Ripley's crew on the Nostromo, that was like a bomber ship that would drop those eggs on planets. That's how Ridley Scott describes it. So it's like, how do the engineers, either somehow from the Covenant movie they've made, maybe they kill David and they take his information
and they
weaponize it.
Yeah,
and then eventually Ripley and the Weyland Company wants to get it.
Yeah.
So they find out a engineer ship that crash landed with the weaponized new xenomorph eggs.
I thought the original concept for it was better. These were species that the engineers found. I was like, holy shit, this is a valuable.
They didn't find it. We didn't know. But when asked Ridley Scott, he just said that it was more like their bombs. That those weren't things, and one had gotten out.
Yeah.
It was an accident because engineers, I guess, can't hold their shit they create.
Yeah.
One had gotten out and killed the pilot, and the pilot crash landed.
Yeah,
and the company sent the Nostromo crew to go get infected.
And it always that makes you wonder. So if the first guy who got the engineer, the first one got infected, that means that the alien queen that we see later on is the one that came out of.
That doesn't make sense. You're saying David's just making this. So how does he make a queen? It's like.
I know that's a problem. I'm talking about
he's going off in a whole weird, unless they feel something after this point.
Yeah.
Some evolution, something maybe grows out of this. Perhaps someone makes a queen to make an efficient egg process.
Yeah. Yeah, at least in the first one it was like, yeah, these were laid, and then we find out okay.
Fuck, I just nerd out on that whole movie. I just nerd. Okay, anyways, I just thought the movie, that part bugged me. The plot was just sort of bubbly and
it created more plot holes than it should have.
Yeah, more plot holes, and the movie was just kind of like the first one. They had characters like from the original, crazy android, the ship setting was the same. The ending was ripped off. How they ejected the alien in Covenant, because there was a xenomorph that got on the ship.
Yeah.
And how she ejected it like Ripley did.
Yeah.
It's like you're ripping off the kill scene universe. Figure out something new, right?
At least in all the original, at least in all the four ones, even though that Resurrection wasn't that great, they all had.
I thought Resurrection was great. It actually was new. It was different.
Yeah, but
they were like genetically engineering the aliens back, so fucking finally finding these fucking things on a fucking planet.
Well, yeah, I thought was cooler was his face and the first
Bucky was in it.
Yeah, in the first one they threw him out. In the second one, she did that whole. She had the mech suit and fought.
Right, but in the fourth one, she was like muscled up. She was the alien. She could bleed acid.
She mild acid.
She stopped it. Her and
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder stopped it. That was the closest an alien species. It was like a hybrid.
Yeah, it looked really creepy as fuck.
It was like a hybrid of her and an alien.
And Ron Perlman was in that movie too.
Dude, there's just great shots when they're like underwater and they shot the fucking kind of grenade launcher into the alien's head as it's pursuing them.
Yeah,
that was just fucking cool.
I thought the coolest thing in that movie was the aliens had.
She like busted through it. She just was like an alien. She's like, it was in my way.
That was a good.
She just said like you didn't. Ripley was badass at that point. She was like totally superior.
Yeah, the fun. It was kind of cheap, corny, but it was good kind of.
I liked it because it wrapped up Ripley's journey. Like she's bringing herself back to Earth again, but she's bringing the alien DNA, but she controls it.
Yes.
No, not the company ultimately,
Now,
who always wanted it.
Or the military, because the military was a control.
Right, they wanted it. I don't, did they ever talk about the government? It was more the companies playing this.
Well,
they wanted it for genetic engineering.
And the fourth one, it was the military.
But it all goes back to the first one.
Yeah, it was Weyland, and then it was.
Second was the military. Weyland's still in the second. They hired the dipshit guy to do everything. The military was just going to blow it up. Yeah, this was a private thing going on.
And the fourth one, it was the military wanted it for some reason.
I don't know if it was the military, the company still.
No, it was because they mentioned they said I'm not working.
Right.
She says I'm not going to deal with the company. Like who? They're talking about Weyland and Gattani. Like, oh, well, that company got liquidated like 100 years ago.
Oh, it's the military that wanted it. Yeah, it's funny. So basically, Ripley's saying you'll get your alien, but it's through me.
Yeah, and get the weird. So we see on our next week.
Logan. Did you see it?
No.
Fantastic movie. One my favorite so far.
I've seen the.
It was really good. Just seeing fucking the language out of all the Marvel movies. Just seeing the language. Yeah. I loved it.
It was like Deadpool but better.
Dramatic. Like it was a serious crime noir with a superhero, Wolverine, and he's angry and he's pissed off, and there's like a little girl in it that they formed. She's like his daughter.
Yeah.
They basically made her, and she's got fucking spikes. She's got claws in the foot.
Yeah.
She's got a foot claw, not just a hand claw.
Yeah.
And she kills really well, and she's Hispanic.
Yeah. And apparently they quote Shane at the very end. For the movie Shane, like the killing is.
Yeah, and Picard's in it.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, and you can hear Patrick Stewart saying "fuck," and Logan and fucking Hugh Jackman saying "fuck" back, and he's saying "fuck" with the kid in the car.
Yes, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Basically, the movie ended saying they're the new generation. She's like leading the new generation of mutants because Professor X is dead and Logan died.
But they basically they passed on. They passed
it on, yeah. They're like the future, and it's funny. It was kind of political. Like it was a Hispanic girl.
Yeah.
And like they were fucking the Weapon X people were fucking with kids in like fucking Mexico. It was just kind of funny politically.
I know that basically what's his face is that Hugh Jackman was an Uber driver.
Yeah, he's like an Uber driver.
I think someone said that he was.
He's like driving around people partying. He's like having a whole bumfuck. He was just taking care of Professor X, who was having seizures, which would like erupt the whole world because his mind, his power is hooked into everyone's fucking mind.
Well,
he'd have seizures and like the world would start like having an earthquake and shit.
Well, I know that some point out is that it basically was like him going through midlife, like a middle age, because he's not as young as he used to be. He has an help. Manage an older relative who's dealing with illness.
Yeah.
It was basically his midlife crisis.
Yeah, it's his midlife crisis.
So next we go on to our film we saw together, Drifter.
Is that what it's called, Drifter?
Let's
look it up so we're not fucking with everybody.
All right, everyone, I'm going to double check. Cool. It was Drifter.
Yep.
All right, so Drifter.
I actually like this. I'm a big fan of independent films.
So Drifter basically is a.
I think it's post-apocalyptic.
No,
I'm debating that.
It's
post-apocalyptic. It has to. I think it was post-apocalyptic.
All right, let's double check. So, but basically. So basically, they shoot.
Yeah, it's two guys on the run.
Yeah, it's the desert.
But it seemed post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, but if you went out into like freaking like the desert, everything.
Yeah, but it's kind of implied, but they don't mention it.
It might be like post. It might be like a post-war thing. Like it's like everything's in anarchy.
Yeah, I got this feeling. Well, that's the thing. Here's the mystery. That's what I like about the film. Is a mystery. So this movie Drifter.
Yeah, two brothers basically kill a guy because they killed.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, two brothers. You know, it starts off they kill a guy.
They kill their dad apparently.
Yeah, and they're on the run, and then they're attacked by some guys out in the desert. And they get away from them,
and then they end up in a bum.
They find a bumfuck town. Now the whole film, in my opinion, is set in in sort of a dystopian.
Yeah,
we're debating here. Daniel and I have been talking. We don't know. The film doesn't state anywhere, but it kind of gives this vibe. There's something that went on. That society isn't exactly as stable as it once was, and because there's kind of no law and order. It's like who's pursuing these guys. They kind of stumble upon this town where people live, but it's like there's nothing around there. They find these guys that attack them after they're on the run in the desert, and they're kind of like in nothing clothes.
Yeah, and then strips them down naked after the cat.
Right.
But then
they find like a cannibal family, basically.
Yeah, and one of the brothers ends up like macking on this one girl, and he ends up getting killed.
Yeah, it's just a trap. It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I thought the cinematography, the music,
yeah, it was a lot better.
The action, the character development was interesting. The cannibal family, each of them, they did their work on developing these kind of weird characters.
Yeah, the other really cool part was that you had a sympathetic character who basically was trying to help them out.
If you're a Nicholas Winding Refn fan, watch this movie. He did. Have you seen Valhalla Rising yet?
I need to see. I've seen parts of his
Drive.
Drive was good.
You saw Drive. Okay, that was Nicholas Winding Refn. He's an awesome director.
Yeah, that was a really
God Forgives. Ryan Gosling again.
What's with the Canadian man?
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Is he Canadian?
He's Canadian.
Fuck, didn't know that.
Damn shame. Freaking Canadians.
Fucking Canadians. Yeah, if you're a fan of Nicholas Winding Refn, we gotta watch Valhalla Rising.
We'll watch Valhalla Rising. We'll do a review of that.
It's a really good movie. It's one of my favorites. But this movie, Drifter, really brought me back to that style of directing and
it was very gritty and
very gritty. They filmed it really in really capturing the environment, the sunset, the dirt, the blood.
Yeah, you felt very like
there was no CGI.
Yeah,
they crashed real shit. There's a car crash scene. Real things were shot. The family was just deranged, like watching cartoons. It wasn't like your typical this is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a bunch of crazy.
It reminded me of what's it called, the Devil's Rejects. They were running the Devil's Rejects.
A little more different than that. A little bit more unique than your classic redneck killers like Leatherface and the Devil's Rejects.
And then these guys they had lost their mind by being in the desert. They got into Burning Man and got fucked up and just
and they're also run by a weird leader there.
Yeah, who's
but one girl helps them out.
Yeah,
people anymore.
Yeah. Unlike Devil's Rejects or Crazy Train, you had an insider who was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
He basically had a conscience, and they attacked her for it. Like the one girl would attack her.
He was dressed up like a deranged schoolgirl.
Yeah, and that loud kind of laugh.
Watch the movie. I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
but, like I said, if you like that movie Drive, Nicholas Winding Refn kind of style, I think you'd like it.
Drive was good. Drive
was a really good. It's one of my favorite.
It fucks with your head too.
It's one of my favorite films. The soundtrack too is awesome.
It had kind of a bit of an 80s
but just the how they're basing it on Ryan Gosling character is a driver for thieves.
It was kind of like what was it called?
He was badass with his fucking car, and he was just he was creepy. He was like mentally off in the film.
He was like a mentally off version of the Transporter.
The guy who played in the new Star Wars played in it as that kind of husband that came back from jail and Drive.
Oscar Isaac?
Yes, Oscar Isaac. You didn't know that?
Yeah, he was.
He was the guy that was his family, and then Ryan Gosling wanted to do that one last deal for him.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac also was in. We were also another movie because we did Ex Machina. He was that genius.
Right.
He's in a lot of shit lately.
Yeah, he's in a lot of shit, dude.
And Domhnall Gleeson was in that with him. That was a fun movie to watch, by the way.
Yeah.
That really kind of fucks with your head.
Ex Machina, yeah.
And then she went off to go fuck with the world. So I think
that's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna fuck off.
Yeah, so this is the end of our Movie Dude Summer Jam Part 1. We'll be getting together another time to do another set of reviews. So hope you guys enjoy this. My name's Dan.
I'm Chris.
We're the Random Media guys, and we'll see you later.
Peace out.
Peace.